So the book that I decided to review is called Hello Ruby: Adventures in Coding by Linda Lucas. And this is my book review. This is how the cover of the book actually looks. And this little girl right here, that would be Ruby. So about the author. The author of the book, Hello Ruby: Adventures in Coding, uses cute drawings and stories to help children understand the books and then like how to code. She incorporates both art, computering, reading, and drawing to explain coding, since she believes that doing all this will help children become more motivated and willing to practice new skills. Linda Lucas also believes that the stories we read growing up really affect how we view the world, so teaching children about technology at a young age is something that will help them in the long run, especially now, since, most schools are learning how to operate online and learn online. So more about the author. She first started off as a computer programmer, which made her believe that children can learn complex things through playing, creating, and their imagination. Although the book is about coding, it is more about the fundamentals of coding and complex thinking. So the summary of the book. So the book is it's an animated book about a girl with a huge imagination. Her name is Ruby. Her dad leaves her postcards to find 5 gems, and she thinks of all these different ways to find the gems. And then, of course, in this picture at the corner, it shows her coming up with things, and then these are like her little friends that she finds throughout each activity. While she goes looking for the gem, she constantly thinks about different critical ways to find each gem with the help of her imaginary friends, which are these little animals, but she uses her imagination so they actually help her. While doing this, she comes up with different skills, such as making a small ladder out of rope, sticks, and yarn, and even figuring out patterns and riddles. So at the end of the book, Ruby tells her dad everything she went through to find all the gems. And at the very end of the story part of the book, there's a few pages that explains all the coding she did throughout the book for children and even adults to try out. The title of the book is very complex just because it is a children's book and it mentions coding. The book is directed towards preschool to 3rd grade students, but by the title, people might think it is directed to maybe 4th to 6th grade. This book took coding challenges and turned them into something that was very fun and interactive. It takes problems and, it breaks it down into smaller pieces to help find the answer. It does a very good job of taking the problems and making children think of how to find the answer, but that's only if the parents, kind of go over the activities that are in the back of the book. But my overall thoughts was that Hello Ruby: Adventures in Coding, it can be a useful book for both teachers and parents to read to their students or children. But in order to get the child or the student really thinking, you would have to go in the back of the book where it explains the exercises and give the child the materials in order for them to actually do the different activities and to use their brains in a way to solve each of the problems that are on there and to build. I kind of thought this book was not really... It's not a book that, catches the attention of a parent or even a child just because of the cover and the fact that it has words like coding. So it's a little off-putting and uninteresting to some parents and children unless they have heard about the books or read reviews about the book. But overall, it was a good book, but in order to get the whole meaning out of the book, you would have to, sit with a kid or even your student and really go over each exercise and explain to them why this is the answer and how it became the answer. If you don't do that, then it's not really any help.